It's almost time. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off.
Yeah.
Ihre nächsten Anschlüsse RE nach Hauptbahnhof über Abfahrt.
Welcome to the latest installment of Groove School Selections. I am sat here and I'm very comfortable in the best Airbnb in Europe. Yes, still chilling in Berlin, and opposite me is a beautiful artist, an art connoisseur, a poet, a writer, a photographer, a singer. Originally from Morocco, moving to Hamburg, and now in Berlin, I am of course talking about Douniah, representing Douniah and High John of Melting Pot Music. For those of you who are not familiar with the format, on each episode we learn about the journey of a particular guest, and along this feature we turn the guest, who is Douniah today, into the selector, selecting songs that help best explain her story.
I want to go back as early as possible. Baby, Douniah at home. Where did you grow up? Where were you?
I grew up in Morocco. I was born in Agadir, Morocco. I grew up in a small, it's actually not that small, in a village next to the city at the beach called Anza. And my dad lived 4 villages away. So I grew up in between those two. And then at the age of 5, we moved to Hamburg.
Amazing. Do you have any siblings?
I have one half-sister, that side.
Do you remember Morocco very well? Have you been back since?
I remember Morocco very well. I spent every winter and every summer holidays there when we moved here. And when I was 14, I stopped going for 8 years. And then 2 years ago, I went back again for 3 weeks, which was very emotional. And then I was there recently to shoot a music video.
Why did you not go for 8 years?
I didn't. A lot of things happened between my parents, and then my dad got really sick. He was still living in Morocco. He died, and then after he died, we went back to Morocco to visit the house he lived in and like check everything, and that was very painful because of some other circumstances. And I was 14 then, and I decided that I needed to take time off, and I didn't know for how long, but it was for 8 years.
Well, sorry about that, but that sounds like you said it so eloquently. I feel like you've used it.
Yeah.
You've grown.
It was a process, so it's history. That's it. That's what it is.
So your parents, what kind of music were they into?
My mom grew up with cassettes and vinyls, and my mom was really into American music. Like, I think when she was in her 20s, she was listening to R&B a lot, like when R&B was actually, coming up. And she was listening a lot to Gnawa music, which is Moroccan indigenous music, and jazz and stuff like Tina Turner and all that. Michael Jackson, she was a huge Michael Jackson fan.
How do you think that crossed over to your mum? Would this have been while she was in Morocco? It's just really interesting that music came over there and enough that she's like, yeah, this is what I listen to.
Yeah, definitely.
This is really cool.
I mean, you go to the market, you go to the souk, and then you buy cassettes that are obviously not the originals. Some of them are the originals. And you have an access to Mariah Carey or Tina Turner, Mariah Carey came way after that, but Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones and all of these people. And she listened to it, and of course, even though she didn't know what they were saying, she enjoyed the music. Yeah. And it's also kind of comparable to the energy I feel like in Morocco, because there are so many countries that are super jazzy, and that's where the inspiration is actually from, like 100 or years or centuries, I don't know, ago. My dad is a weirdo, so my dad was listening definitely to MJ. I feel like he listened to a lot of rock music as well, but he was really into jazz and also to Gnawa music, because he moved to Morocco 20 years before he met my mom, and he converted to Islam. He dressed the way the people there dress, the indigenous people, so the Amazighi, and he was really into everything that the culture there was. So he mixed whatever he had from Germany and American influence with that. So it was kind of similar to my mom's, actually.
But Dad sounds like a G. He sounds good. What track would you say best represents that period? You could pick two, maybe one from your mum and one from your dad.
Okay, from my mom, from Nasser Reuben, Fen Radibi Yahoya, which is a very political song from the 70s. And 4 of the band members, I think there were 5, were killed after. So that was very jazzy, a jazzy time, a jazzy poetic time. I would say that's my mom's favorite track. Hey, this is Douniah, and you're listening to Reuben live at the Groove School Show.
يا من هو باز في الخاز ويا من هو في الروج على الكندرة ونشر جناحه يا من هو باز في الخاز ويا من هو في الروج على الكندرة ونشر جناحه يا من هو تليس يا من هو تليس عطا ظهرو التغراز عمرني مريت الغزال تمشي بالمهماز فراخ الخيل عادو سراحو عمرني مريت النخلات عطي حب الغاز بعد التموت بلاحه يا من هو ديب يا من هو ديب في الغياب وكتر سياحه اليام اليام يا بتي مالكي عجاق واش من سباب عرجتيني بيه ترى تخيني حليب ترى تخيني حجاكي مولاي صدق احتاعيا وقالوا رافي تلقافي انا قاعد نادم نبغي عنه مثلي يبغيني كيف نبغي نقول عليه اللي بخلاقي ما يخليني فين غادي بيا خويا فين غادي بيا 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 خاتم عاد خطاق شكون يحب الباس خاتم عاد خطاق شكون يحب الباس خاتم عاد دقا وشكون يحب الباس خاتم عاد خطاق شكون يحب الباس لا تلومونا في الغربة يا أهل الناس لا تلومونا في الغربة يا في الغربة لا تكذبوا على الرومية باهي مشباق أنا ما نسيت البندير أنا ما نسيت القصبة أنا ما نسيت الموسم والخير سربة سربة أنا ما نسيت القور أنا سمع الطلبة أنا ما نسيت دواري أنا بلاد القصبة أنا ما ما نسيت العشيرة لازم حرحبك لا ما نسيت حياتي يا ناس المحبة لا ما نسيت ناسي خيل هذه الكبار في الغالب يا خويا في الغالب يا 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 ما همني ولا الشاري غير فراق السحباق همني ولا الشاري لا مال الترباق همني ولا الشاري لا صعب على غمراق همني ولا الشاري الشمس لا ضوها جمراق همني ولا الشاري لا الجملة غمراق همني ولا الشاري ويا لعت القدراق في الغالب يا خويا في الغالب يا 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 بين قلب الوكاد بين حيرة وأمان بين خرب والبعاد يا بين مخلان بين نار والرماد وردية وفنان وعذاب الولفاق خيط هذه النفاق في الغالب يا خويا في الغالب يا في الغالب يا خويا في الغالب يا في الغالب يا خويا في الغالب يا وفي الغالب يا خويا في الغالب يا في الغالب يا خويا في الغالب يا في الغالب يا خويا في الغالب يا
So now we have a better idea of the music you were nurtured on and the music that you heard growing up and subconsciously just taken in. At what point did you start to discover your own music?
I started writing when I was 14, so it had a lot to do with his death and me trying to figure out how to express myself in a way that not everybody in my Hamburg, German and Moroccan circle understands. So I started writing in English. And I was really digging deep in the language because of my interests. Like, I was watching a lot of MTV, to be honest. I was watching like everything that was there. The whole Pimp My Ride to whatever.
Pimp My Ride is such a good show.
It's such a good show.
Exhibit is just, he's amazing.
He's an entertainer, you
Yeah,
know?
he's funny.
He's a poet.
Yo!
He's a poet. I don't know.
Yeah, you know
he
he
can
is.
sell everything. And Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle has a huge impact on my, I don't know, brain, something. Yeah. And from that, I was just listening to a lot of music. So I started writing in English, but I was definitely not into hip hop too much. I was really into singer-songwriters like, I don't know if you know him, but Robert Francis, he's from the West Coast. And then Justin Vernon from Bon Iver, which I think he's from Wisconsin. So very interesting areas and writing styles. And with that, I started playing guitar. I kind of did something like a singing poetry.
Did you have any friends that were like into the same music as you, or was it like a personal experience?
It was a personal experience. I had some friends that listened to the same thing, but it was just like a few artists, like the XX that time or Bon Iver. But that was it, kind of. Also, like a lot of indie alternative music from the UK. But that's it. But I was also really into hip hop, and that side was definitely not in my friend's interest. Like A Tribe Called Quest or Mos Def or all of these people, High Tech, whatever. It was not. There was nobody that I could listen with.
Yeah, no, this is something I think quite common, especially when you find something that's not even underground, but it's just not mainstream. So what track best represents this part of your childhood then? Saying
me being me at age of 15? Okay. I think there's one song that is still, is definitely not hip hop, but had the most impact, which is Blood Bank by Bon Iver. It's crazy. It's a crazy ass song.
I've never heard of these guys.
It's not just guys. It's like it's a band project. It's literally what John and I feel like we're doing. We're a project. We're creating something, and then at some point we're not gonna create together anymore.
Well, I met you at the blood bank. We were looking at the bags, wondering if any other color matched any of the names we knew on the tags. You said, see, look at that's yours, stacked on top with your brothers. See how they resemble one another, even in the plastic little cups. And I say, I know it well. That secret that you know, that you don't know how to tell, it fucks with your honor, and it teases your head. But you know that it's good, girl, 'cause it's running you is red. Then the snow started falling. We were stuck out in your car. You were rubbing both my hands, chewing on a candy bar. You said, ain't this just like the present, to be showing up like this? There's a moon when you crescent. We started to kill. And I said, I know it well. That secret that we know, that we don't know how to tell. I'm in love with your honor, I'm in love with your cheese. What's that noise up the stairs, baby? Is that Christmas morning crew? And I know it well. I know it well.
So my next question, my favorite question, is Wave me saying thank you, coming down and speaking with me.
Merci.
I'm going to put on the fattest party for you, like huge, any way you want.
Okay.
Any expenses, all covered by me.
Okay.
And I'm going to invite 3 artists,
3? Okay.
of your choice, to come and sing and perform, and everyone can enjoy. They can be past or present.
Okay.
Who would you pick? Why have you picked them? And what tracks would you want them to play?
I love this question. But it's a hard question.
It's horrible.
I would 100% invite Erykah Badu and Raphael Sadiq, and I think the last person would be Justin Vernon from Bon Iver. I think that would be a very interesting mix, because when he had his biggest time, so after he released his first solo project that he wrote in 3 months alone in a cabin in Wisconsin on his own, which is crazy. Like, what goes through your mind? You're just sitting with yourself, thinking, reflecting, no projections on anybody. He is such an inspiration for so many people in hip hop, like Kanye West, for example. And I think when I first heard him collaborating with Kanye, I was blown away, like crazy that you can mix these genres just through electronic music and also writing styles. So I think he is he's one of the best producers, like Raphael Sadiq. One of the best producers, visionaries.
So for Justin Vernon, what song would you want to play?
I would play, that's a hard question. Restacks.
And then to Erykah Badu and Raphael Sadiq, great choices. Who would you want to play next, and what song would you want them to play?
Actually, I would not start with Restacks. I would let Justin finish everything. I would start with Raphael Sadiq with Sky Can You Feel Me? It's a very long song with a huge transition. Moin, hier ist Douniah und ihr hört Reuben live bei der Groove School Show.
You're my
Do it like me. You're all I'll ever want and need. You got the best of me, so baby, come to me.
Come with me, yeah.
You got me wide open. I'm digging you so, baby, keep it coming.
Keep it coming.
Truly indeed,
Truly
from your
indeed.
majesty. Tell me, can you feel me?
I can feel you, baby.
Never felt this way before.
Sounds so good.
For the feeling that you get to me, I can't
You're my joy. You're my
do it like me. You're all I'll ever want and need. You got the best of me, so baby, come to me.
Come with me.
You got me wide
Right
open.
over.
I'm digging you so, baby, keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Speak from your majesty. Tell me, can you feel me?
I can feel you, baby.
Never felt this way before. For the feeling that you
What a
get.
feeling.
You're my joy.
You're my
Do it
joy.
like me. You're all I'll ever want and need. You got the best of me, so baby, come to me.
Come with me.
You got me wide
Right
open.
over.
I'm digging you so, baby, keep it coming.
Keep it coming,
Yeah.
baby. Yeah.
Truly indeed,
Truly
from your
indeed.
majesty. Tell me, can you feel me? Feel me.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
And then I would continue with Erykah Badu. I think On and On. I don't know why. Yeah, I think On and On, because it kind of fits. It goes on and on.
Oh, my, I'm feeling high. My money's gone. I'm all alone. Too much to say. The world keeps turning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day. Peace and blessings manifest with every lesson learned. If your knowledge were your wealth, then it would be well earned. And we were made in His image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, no, no, no. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. Oh, no, no, no. All night to the break of dawn. I go on and on and on and on. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. On and on and on and on. God damn it, I'ma sing my song. I was born underwater with $3.06. Yeah, you may laugh, 'cause you did not do your math. Like 1, 2, 3. Damn, y'all feel it? Oh, like 1, 2, 3. The earth keeps turning. Oh, what a day! What a day! What a day! The man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. Does it seem colder in your summertime and hotter in your fall? If we were made in His image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, no, no, no. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. On and on, no, no. All night to the vulture song. I'll go on, no, 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 no. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. On and on, no, no. Mad props to the God job. I am feeling kinda hungry, 'cause my high is coming down. Don't feed me yours, 'cause your food does not endure. I think I need a cup of tea. The world keeps burning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day. You're rushing to destroy.
and then it would stop with Restacks by Justin Vernon.
This my excavation to day is cool. Everything that happens is from now. This is pouring rain. This is paralyzed. I keep throwing it down to hundred at a time. It's hard to find it when your money's gone and you're drunk as hell. On your back with the Rex as the stacks you load. On your back with the Rex and the stacks you load. On your back with the Rex and the stacking you load. I've been twisting to the sun. I needed to replace. The fountain in the front yard's rusted out. All my love was down in a frozen ground. There's a black crow sitting across from me. His wiry legs are crossed. He's dangling my keys. He even fakes a toss. Whatever could it be that has brought me to this loss? On your back with your Rex as the stacks you load.
part of your DJ mind working as well.
Yeah, it would not work
thinking,
that well.
Yeah, they're good choices. And where would you want the gig to be?
I would love the gig to be in the... Have you ever heard of Atlas? It's a region in Morocco, a mountain region. And I know that there are people that organize a festival there. It's called Atlas Electronic. And since that is possible, I would love to have a party in that environment, somewhere there, between mountains and nothing.
And how many? Is it an intimate gig? Is it loads of people?
It's lots of people.
Okay. It's
Lots of people. It's a festival.
Okay.
It's a festival.
Sick.
And there's no stage.
Okay, they're just like playing.
They're just playing, and then you have to be there right on time. And they have their setup, of course, like mics and like drums and whatever they need. But it's all on the same page. Like, it's very balanced.
Everyone's together.
Yeah. And when they stop, everyone's free to take the mic.
Oh, okay. And would you take the mic?
Of course I would. I would not. Yes. If Raphael Sadiq is in front of me, I would take the mic. And then I would say, do you want to produce my next album?
Did you like what you heard? Cool. So at school, what other subjects were you into? Do you have any other passions apart from music at the time?
Politics, philosophy, English, art, sports.
Did you pursue any of them further after school?
Yes, I started studying political science and philosophy in Kiel, but that sucked because of the city. And but I'm definitely educating myself in everything I want to know. So every kind of subject in politics that is also important to who I am as a woman of color in this country. Philosophy, because I was freaking out a little bit when I was going to high school. So that kind of gave me the power to understand a lot. Like Descartes' Demons. I don't know if you heard of that. It's very interesting. Should check it out.
The smile makes me think it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is really crazy. It's very eye-opening too. Sports, because my mom was playing soccer. Sorry, I was saying soccer. No, football. Damn, I was hanging out with a lot of Americans and they were saying soccer. But I hate that word. Huh?
Is this yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, like soccer is not a thing. What is?
I don't even know what it mean. Like.
No, but like when they thought of the name, what were they thinking?
I don't know. It's
Socks.
like a downgrade.
I was thinking socks, but they don't play in socks, and that's not how you spell sock.
No.
So I don't think it even comes from the
Maybe
word socks.
sucker. I don't know.
It's a fail.
Well,
it's a big fail.
My mom was playing football, and my dad too. My dad was a boxer actually, and then I was playing football my entire school life.
Where did you play? What position?
6th, middle field.
Ah, cool. So like a Makalele.
Mm-hmm.
So while doing that, what point did you realize I want to make music?
When I started writing, I realized that I had a lot to say.
This is at 14.
Yeah.
So you would have been doing a lot of these sports and hobbies already.
Yeah, I stopped playing football and I started dancing at the age of I think 10 or 11, and then kind of all of that crossed over and I didn't have enough time to do everything of that. So I stopped playing football. I started dancing more. When I was more into music with like 15, 16, I stopped dancing. And I realized, I think I did my first, it's kind of like a poetry slam. I did like a singer slam in Hamburg at the age of 16 and I won it. And it was really interesting to get real life feedback.
How long had you been singing for before doing that?
Since I was 14. I think I was singing before, but that was just like singing along.
So you were writing and singing at the same time?
Yeah. But I started as a writer. And then I was playing guitar. That was just because I did not know how to express everything. And I needed some music to it, so I learned playing guitar.
Do you remember the first track you made?
I wrote myself. Shadow of My Soul is the title of it.
How long have you been singing for now then?
I would say, I see myself as a singer since I'm like 16, so I would say 7 years.
And the artist that you set out to be, do you feel like you're getting closer to that, or you are that
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah,
It's a nice feeling.
definitely.
What made you stay in line and get there?
Taking my time off, not believing in institutionalized education as a key to whatever realization or comfort or happiness or health, or especially mental health. So I took a lot of time off. I went to places that I needed to see and experience on my own. So I went traveling 2 times. Yeah, and that gave me the power of expressing myself even more.
So we're here today courtesy of Melting Pot Music.
hmm
How did you guys come together? How did that happen?
Instagram. So I think they heard of Hi John before because he's a very well-known beat maker in the scene, and Melting Pot Music is actually pushing or signing or releasing beat music. So there are no vocalists until last year. It's when they signed Summer Suns from the UK and us. And I think they saw, because they follow Hi John on Instagram, they saw our first performance in his story. And then they just kept watching our process. And then 6 months later, when we were already recording and everything, they offered us kind of a deal. Like, they really wanted to get to know us. So we went down to Cologne and talked to them. And yeah, we had a lot of talks for like 4 months until we decided to do it.
Crazy. And are you happy with the decision?
Yeah, definitely.
Melting Pot seems like they're
It's super chill.
very chill. They know what they're doing. Beat making is a sound that's huge on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So it'd be crazy not to have someone pushing it. It's nice that someone's pushing
Yeah.
it. I think SoundCloud is kind of successful because no one was pushing it before.
That's very true. I mean, the game now is Spotify.
It's a fun game.
That's where the money is.
You've been with Melting Pot for a while now. Do you want to pick a track that you've released via Melting Pot for the listeners?
Yeah. Back in My Bed by Douniah and Hi John. That's the 6th or 5th track on the album. And it was a one-take freestyle. Like, actually, almost every song. So, but it was a freestyle and a performance. We freestyled our first show together for an hour. And some of my friends made some recordings, like video recordings or audio recordings, and sent it to me. That's when they first saw us as well. Yeah, and then out of that, I kind of just like put it all together like a puzzle. And then that's how 80% of the album was made.
Back in my bed. You wanna be back in my bed. When I woke up at night, I made you mad. Back in my bed. Back in my bed. You wanna be back in my bad. You know I'll be bad if you like mad. Don't make me cry. No, 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 not one more time. No, no, no. 'Cause I miss my smile. I wanna be back in my bed. I wanna be back in my back in
Is this the festival that you met Hi John at as well? Because I think you guys went to a festival and you freestyled while he was... Is that the same one?
No. It was in Hamburg. Summer 2018 in, I think, beginning of August. It's like a street festival in St. Pauli. And it's called something St. Pauli Kreativnacht, like St. Pauli Creative Night. And it's really cute. It's in a small street. It's super packed, like lots of people. The whole neighborhood is kind of there. And every shop is open. And he was playing a live set. And then he asked me to come through and freestyle with him.
That's what I was thinking. When I read it, I thought, did you just take the mic?
I took the mic. Yeah, I took the mic and he played.
So he hadn't met you before?
No, we met before, of course. I mean, I'm friends with his girlfriend.
Oh, you said.
And I met him, though. I met him when she was pregnant. I did not meet him before. So I knew John for like, I don't know, maybe a year before we started making music, but not very close. And that day was the first time when we actually made music together, also physically.
What's it like working with Hi John? What's your process?
It was very interesting. It was very eye-opening. His dedication to hip-hop is beautiful and free. Like, he is an artist through and through. He does not think of... I mean, now, of course, he thinks of money because he has a family. But before, he did what he did because he loved it. And then he made money out of it. That was the process. And that you can hear that in everything he does. And I really like that about him. And it was very comfortable to just make music with him. And everything just went its way.
And how does it work? Do you come to him with a melody and be like, I've got this idea, or does he make a beat, or is it just...
So the first time, so his baby was born. 1 month after, he was like, we should make music. I was like, okay, dope, let's do it. He sent me a beat pack of like 35 beats. And I listened to all of them in 2 hours at my in my apartment in Hamburg. And then I took my Zoom mic and I heard the song Dream Baby, which is the first song on the album. And I recorded a one take on it. And that's the take you hear. So
it's a pure freestyle.
Yeah, it's a pure freestyle. And I sent it to him on WhatsApp. And he was on his way to a small festival called Keine Knete, trotzdem Fete, which means no money, but we still party. It's a really cute festival at the beach in Hamburg. So he listened to it. He told me he was listening to my recording for an hour. And he loved it. And then he texted me back and was like, we should make an album.
Crazy. You feel like we're at the beginning of your journey as well?
No.
That's really cool.
It's not the beginning of my journey, but it's the beginning of our journey.
Yeah, that project, I think we're going to have so much more to come. It's so early. So Berlin and SoundCloud brought me to you guys. No one told me about you. And SoundCloud do SoundCloud Weekly, which is usually really bad. Like, it's the worst one of all of them. But I'm so hungry for music. I look everywhere. I looked again, I was like, oh, don't know these guys. Clicked it, I was like, wow, Neighborhood is sick. This is a good track.
Thank you.
Like, it's really, really smooth. I like the samples used. What is it? What's that track about?
The track is about my neighborhood in Hamburg. It's called Barmbek Süd. It's a very, very white neighborhood. Not a rich neighborhood, like a normal middle class, working class neighborhood that is like around the corner to the actual working class neighborhood and the upper middle class kind of, but it's all white, which is very weird for Hamburg because it's a very diverse city. It's even more diverse than Berlin. And my school was there as well, which my school was kind of diverse, like not too much, but it was all right. And after I moved out that neighborhood when I was 21, I realized what actually happened, like through all the years with my mom and me and my neighbors and the streets and the whole feeling.
I did think it was a negative tone. I was like, I'm going to be really interested to hear.
Yeah, it had a lot of negative points.
And then the album Dream Baby, which is your debut album. I know you're saying that. Literally, John said, yo, let's make an album. How quick was that process? How long did it take?
It was very fast. We produced the whole album in from August to May, so like 9 months. Yeah, everything. Recordings, mix, master, everything. Cover, artwork. So 9 months, but we also just started before these 9 months. So it was just meeting, recording, and everything, and then releasing. So everything in total is 1 year.
It's really fast.
It's really fast.
And some of them are freestyles.
Yeah, like 70-80% of them are freestyles out of these live sessions. And then as well at John's place, so we recorded the whole thing in his living room with the baby. And
Baby.
yeah. Some of the freestyles were in that living room and not like at a gig or something.
I feel like when you're talking about this project, it's a lot of excitement, you're happy. Is this a style that you prefer writing in, a freestyle? Mm-hmm. Is that like your thing?
Yeah.
Why is that?
100%.
What do you like about it?
I had no clue that was something that I was really comfortable with, but it makes so much sense because when I was younger, I had the urge to sit down and write because I really needed to like put my thoughts out of my mind to somewhere else on the paper, and then I would burn the paper to just like make them go away, or turn them into songs. But now, after a couple of years, I felt like I was able to talk very freely, and that was my form of writing. So I feel more comfortable with just talking and freestyling, because that's the purest.
It's immediate.
Yeah, it's the purest form of writing for me. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's another form of writing.
I think it's another form of music, another art form.
Yeah.
People who freestyle, who are generally freestyling, not, I don't know why, but then now they say freestyle is like when you rap over a track that you haven't heard of before. That's not a freestyle for me. Freestyle just fresh. It's so hard. So like that being your thing you're most comfortable with is crazy, because it's the hardest part of rapping, I'd say. Yeah,
it is the hardest part, especially when you have no instrumental, no beat, nothing. Sometimes I just freestyle over pictures that I took of my friends or places I went to. So, and then I write poems, like I freestyle them in my mic, and then I listen to it and I write a poem out of it. And that's how Neighborhood was created.
I'm going to play Neighborhood right now. If you could pick another track from the album, what would you pick?
I would pick I Miss, which was, except of the backing vocals, of course. That was a one-take freestyle as well, but that was the craziest, because the structure of the song gives you a feeling of, I really needed to tell this story. But when you know the information about that, it was really a story that I was telling. Like I was telling that to John, but I was kind of singing it. So, and we were recording it, luckily. So it has a lot of emotions, and it's very sad. It's very emotional. Also a little bit. There's a little bit happiness in that song. Hey, this is Douniah.
Hello, this is Oscar Jerome.
This is Joe Armandone.
Hey, this is Alicia Joy from 3070.
And this is Melody Symphony, Spread Love.
Color pants, like green pants. When he came back to the neighborhood, people around him was like, what the hell you got on?
Microphone check.
Hanging out late at night, going to clubs, and I'm like, what is going on?
I'm thinking about neighborhood. Always about the way they look. I crossed 3 bridges on my way. I knew I'd never go astray. No neighbors in our neighborhoods. Nobody looks the way we look. I knew I'd never go astray. I knew I'd never go astray. Mama, can you pass my way? Mama, can you pass my way?
Extended family played a big role.
I'm thinking about neighborhoods. I'm listening. I need to figure out some answers.
Wanted to
for
hang out
myself.
on the corner in the neighborhood with the guys, but I'm like, oh no.
I'm on my way to pass 8 a.m. I'm on my way to class 8 a.m. I knew I'd never go astray, still I couldn't find my way. I'm thinking about neighborhoods, always about the way they look. I crossed the bridges on my way, I knew I'd never go astray. No neighbors in our neighborhoods, nobody looks the way we look. I know I never, no never, no never, no never go. No, 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 never go astray. Mommy, can you pass my way? I say, Mommy, can you pass my way? So much, I miss my home so much. I miss my family. Where is my family? I miss my family. I just miss everything I love. I miss how to express what I miss when I miss. It's so simple. If I could just say it like I say it. If I say it, don't judge, don't judge. I miss the water on my skin. I miss the sun in my eyes. I feel blinded all the time, but I know my way and I can find it. I don't need no Uber driver, I don't need no cab, I don't need no bike, no. I don't need no board, I don't need anything. Then my thoughts on the way, and I'm walking down the hill, and I'm hearing wind through the palm trees. And my hair, and I'm hearing my body whispering, I'm happy.
I'd also like to play Smooth of Us. That is without a doubt my favorite track. Like,
Really?
I mean, every time I'm like, my God, this is my track. I love this
Damn,
track.
okay.
He's used the sample so well. It's amazing.
He's a genius with sampling.
Flows. Sometimes you hear a sample, and especially in the old hip hop style where it's like abrupt, but it sounds like a different instrument.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a passage,
Mm-hmm.
and it just, yeah, Smooth with Us. It is, yeah, I love that track.
I heard that sample. I heard the beat when it wasn't finished yet, so we made it longer and like added some stuff in between. And the first thing that came in my mind was it's the smoothest beat I've heard in a while.
So smooth.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous. And I even noticed when you post, you say, come be smooth with us.
Yeah.
I feel like that track is the one that people don't realize. That's the biggest track on the album.
Mhm.
Sick. Thank you for making that track.
You're welcome. Thank you for appreciating it and listening to it. Hey, this is Douniah, and you're listening to Croydon FM.
be smooth with us. Be smooth with us. Smooth with us. Baby, be smooth with us. I love you so. I don't know, you know. It feels so natural. One illusion that loves some more. I said smooth with us. Smooth with us. So you wanna be smooth with us. Smooth with us. Smooth with us. Baby, be smooth with us. Not long ago, he asked for more, but now I should know, no. Tell me what for. Oh, he said it's natural, baby, so natural. 'Cause I love you so, I love you so, I love you so, I just love you so. I said smooth with us. Smooth with us. So you wanna be smooth with us.
Have you got more projects with High John coming?
Right now, no. We wanted to work on music again, because we just released the album and had a lot to do and went on tour with Sudan and like with some other people, and I just came back from Morocco, and now is the time again to start. So there's gonna be some
I'm
stuff.
waiting. I'm gonna keep refreshing my page.
Yeah.
Like, not too long ago, you guys performed with Children Zeus,
Yeah,
which is insane. How did that happen?
I have no idea. So the booking agency contacted us and thought that we would fit the lineup very well, because it was 3 performances, a support act, then us, and then Children of Zeus. And mad, I love them. I love their music. I love just the way they flow together, especially with the beats as well. And then they have an amazing DJ with them.
They are an answer to this UK culture that existed in between all the dancey stuff. Reggae,
Yeah.
bit of jungle, bit of hip hop, neo soul. Like, there's such a big amount of people who love that and vibe with that.
Yeah.
And then to bring that forward, like how grime brings forward other things, they do it in a way that's really smooth as well, man. I love them.
They're soul kings.
Yeah.
It's straight up like the perfect mix of soul and R&B and songwriting, like they're crazy songwriters, and reggae. And then they're kind of housey as well, like Vibrations, the song. That
Yeah, Vibration. I thought it was a remix.
No, there's an
At first?
original, and then there's a remix.
There is said bias, yeah. But there is the original first, I thought was a remix, because
Yeah.
it was faster. I was like, oh, they got something to remix. Oh no, it's the original. Then I saw Zed bias. Even an house producer noticed.
Yeah.
I can remix this one. This is
Yeah.
fast. Yeah, it's cool.
They're amazing. Yeah, that gig was a blessing.
Yeah, where was that?
It was in Bremen. It's a very small city in the north of Germany. And they booked them and made a show in a theater with a really good sound system as well, and nice lights, and the people that came through really wanted to listen to hip-hop music. Like, they were down to listen to them playing and everyone else. So the vibe was kind of, we say in German, auf Augenhöhe, like as if I see you, like a balanced vibe between listener and musician, like a very respectful way to listen and to receive. Yeah.
And then you also worked with Cap Hendrick.
Yeah.
On a track, Naked Trees. How was that?
That was nice. I really liked the lyrics. I wrote that poem, and I did not plan to make it a song. And then he sent me his album and wanted to make a remix album out of a lot of songs with different artists. And I heard the beat, and that was like a typical I hear the beat, go to the studio, record on it thing. So I recorded the song in 1 hour and then it was finished. But I really like it.
I was saying to you before off the mic, the scene here is crazy cool. And I feel like somehow just in your life you're involved in all the niches here. How did that happen?
Very spontaneous. Everything that I released so far, everything that was created was spontaneous. I never had the intention to contact someone and work with that person. It always just happened. And I'm very lucky that it works like this, but I think it has a lot to do with how I walk or think through life. So when I moved here to study, I immediately made some contacts through jam sessions and all of that.
Do you think this is a conscious decision?
Yeah, kind of.
It is more than a walk, it's a purpose.
Yeah. It's like a lot of people here don't trust their intuition anymore. You know, when that's what we say in Morocco, at some point you see science as the highest, and some people see God as the highest. Some people see them as the same, but their intuition is always below. But intuition is actually what should be the highest. I mean, and you can also have like God and intuition or whatever, but
like have your own decision, then apply it to whichever one.
Yeah, like do what you feel like is right. But we, especially in Europe, live in a system where we need rules and we need someone to tell us you should do it like this. And then you get depressed because you don't feel like you want to do it like that.
Or maybe that way doesn't suit you.
Yeah, right. So when you go back to that, and that's what I see whenever I go back to Morocco, is in the indigenous culture before Islam, for example, the people were just, everything was intuition. And you cannot have a creative process with rules. It's not that, it doesn't work like that.
Okay, Candice. Wow, she's doing well in London, and then you guys seem pretty close. And again, talking about the scene of being involved here in Berlin. How did you guys meet? What's your story?
We met at a concert at Berghain Canteen of Oshun. I don't know if you know him. They're from Brooklyn, I think. Yeah, that's where we met. And then through a mutual friend. And then after, we just we connected, and we live in the same neighborhood, and we're hanging out a lot, going to concerts a lot, like having a lot of similarities in our interests. And we managed to like see our differences as well and push each other with that, you know, like push the other person to do what they want to do. And not, I don't know, she's a very selfless person and very genuine and very talented and powerful. Yeah. And she's just, not to downplay that, but she's really just one of a few amazing people that I met in the city.
Yeah, I think this place is crazy. My next question was going to be, I know you said how you met these guys was spontaneous and organic. But in terms of then appreciating how good the scene is, why is it so good? Why do you feel like there is such a good scene?
I feel like the mix of people coming here from wherever, Amsterdam, Australia, UK, especially UK, and New York or the States in general, they come here with something like a purpose or a goal, and some of them lose it because it's not manifested or strong enough, or because of personal problems. And the ones that follow their intuition, which I feel like there's still a lot of them, they kind of make the scene. They keep the scene alive. Like Wayne Snow, like Candice, like S Fidelity. I don't know if you know him. He's also from Switzerland. Like Juju Rogers. So many people. Blue Stab. Like all of these amazing, or Jay LaMotta. All of these amazing artists. Aletis, Kazaya. Yeah.
Loads.
Yeah.
There is loads. And that's within this scene. Then you can talk about like Max Graff.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people. I think that's because from an outsider, you feel like you can be successful if you come here for a short period with a purpose. I can come here for 4 days, meet some people, speak to them and go home. I can't do that anywhere else. I feel like I need to move there 2-3 months, camp up, get to know, network. It's not like that. It's the communication system between Berlin and other places.
The people here are down to meet people. And there's no weekend here. Every day is something. So if you live, that's so crazy about the city. The city really never does sleep.
No, it
like
doesn't.
it's just going and going in like different vibrations and flows.
Lots of people having crazy days, doing very different things every day.
I mean, imagine you start your Monday at Berghain and then you go to your regular job.
9 to 5, Monday to Friday, go out Friday.
Yeah. Mad.
Like you today. You went out?
I went out last night, yeah.
Any plans for 2020 that you can give us, apart from the stuff with Hydron?
Yes. There's one thing I wrote last year, and when I wrote it, I manifested it, and it's where I'm coming from is where I'm heading. So in every form. And that's what I did. I flew out to Morocco on the 1st in the morning to start the year with a lot of pain, actually, and a lot of confrontation and still cultural shocks. And this time I was very focused on my stuff, and it was very painful, but I made it through it, and I'm really happy with the results. And that kind of gave me the energy that I need for this year. Like I can do that. Like I did that, and I was in so much pain and confrontation, and I got out of that with a lot of positive energy.
I like that you went there after a lot of pain, handled it. 2 years later, it's now part of your foundation. You said, coming where I'm heading. And then you've gone back with music as your direction, your purpose. And you're going back to the place I think you said teaches you about purpose. Yeah. So going back to somewhere that is always forward thinking. Yeah. Is pretty powerful, which is cool. Like, it's nice to hear that you did it. Yeah. And I'm sure the music we're going to get this year is going to be mad.
It's going to be different.
Yeah, it's going to be mad. Is there any artist you'd love to work with, dream to work with?
Raphael Sadiq. Honestly, I really want to work with Raphael Sadiq at some point in my life.
Do you like his new album?
Yeah, I listened to it 2 days ago for the first time. Everything he puts out is amazing.
There's many songs I didn't realize he had produced.
Yeah, like Callous, whole album, Anderson .Paak. There would be no R&B scene like this right now without him. But also, I would love to work with him at some point, but I'm also not ready yet. But I would love to collaborate with some rappers. I would love to collaborate with Slick Rick.
Oh, that would be mad.
That would be mad, yeah.
You know he's famous for freestyling too.
Yeah.
So that could just be...
Or Pete Rock. I'm listening a lot to Pete Rock.
Yeah. Thank you for coming today. I feel like we could talk for music for ages.
Yeah.
So we'll just do one in a year's time, come back and see what's happening.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, this is Douniah, and you're listening to Reuben live at the Groove School Show.